Title: Attention. Written by astertataricvs. Probably butchered the name, I'm sorry. Inosuke was in his own little world. He was thinking about a particular girl who he just knew for 2 months, which, to be precise, is you. You've been steadily appearing in his mind whenever he's trying to train or just getting cozy within the butterfly estate. Then in just a few seconds, your face would automatically pop out of nowhere. That seriously pisses him off. The first time he met you was the day where he and his 2 dumb comrades came across with you, was covering a handkerchief around the dog's bleeding leg. He already knew that you were likewise a demon hunter, just like him, since it already states from the uniform you were wearing. After that ordained rendezvous with them, you started to hang out with your group and become friends. You would regularly laugh at them because of their comical bickers and how Zenitsu would hide behind you. By just recollecting how the dumb blondie would hide behind you and hold your shoulders, he couldn't handle the frustration accumulating inside him. He just had this feeling that he wanted to punch Zenitsu's face and throw him at the cliff. Knowing you really liked to assist around the grounds of Shinobu, and you would also help the 3 girls in their duties, who were always with Aoi. Everyone in the butterfly estate admires you because of your benevolence and how thoughtful you are to each one of them. Tanjiro's sister takes a liking to you too. You would always play with her and try to sing a lullaby for her when she's going to sleep in your lap. So to be precise, you are just like a mother to Nezuko, though you're just the equivalent age as his brother. Zenitsu was called a shitty coward or piñata head by yours truly, Inosuke. The blonde boy would regularly flirt with you and call your name like a broken piece of record, precariously made Inosuke pissed due to his incessant chanting of your name. Tanjiro and you would seldom spar and train on your training grounds. Some other way around, Inosuke would tag along with you too, and he likes how strong you were and could keep up from his agile and reflexive movements. Despite that you were a lady, you really know how to fight and you can follow their movements without catching your breath. In your sparring session, you could even throw their heavy bodies and lift them up like they're just some sort of a piece of article that really made Inosuke impressed at you. Now that he knows your aptitudes, he likes to defeat you and Tanjiro. He is too adamant to beat your asses and he wouldn't quit from making himself stronger until he passes the both of you. Furthermore, what made Inosuke be allured by you is that you were continuously educating him things and give him new insights that he hadn't known or encountered. Although Inosuke was scorning you and driving you away, you didn't leave his side and still insisted to be with him. He's even throwing some crude words to you, but you will only beam at him and be patient at his effrontery. Every time Inosuke would be injured and cripple himself during your missions, would spontaneously aid him and tend his wounds. You would always assure him and tell him not to move or else his injuries will deteriorate. You don't know how his stomach would flurry in delight and he's feeling giddy for some odd reason. You will just notice himself that he's been gawking at your visage, studying your features in every little detail from your head down to your nose, your eyes, kissable lips, perfect jawline. He wouldn't know that you were this beautiful like a waterfall that he stumbled upon amid the mountains, perpetually streaming down and glistening due to the illuminating sun rays of moonlight. More importantly, whenever you were going to touch his arms or just a part of his body, he would involuntarily flinch and back away like a scared cat while looking at you with large eyes. He doesn't even know himself why he's acting like that towards you, and his heart would pound relentlessly inside his thorax, as if it's going to disintegrate sooner or later if you trigger it any further. These unexplainable feelings he was feeling, he immediately divulged it to Shinobu since he can't keep this new sensation for long. He told her every detail why he's feeling that way, while Shinobu was attentively listening to him. To bore Head's explanation, he couldn't suppress the smile developing on her face. After minutes that feels like an eternity, the insect pillar cleared her throat, then bestowed him a sly smile before answering. Due to your explanation, I can guarantee you that you love who I am, she simply stated, not removing her smile. What? What love? He exclaimed. He was confused about what Shinobu was telling him. He doesn't know the word, for goodness sake. Please explain it to him. Love is a feeling where you feel strong affection towards a person. Like you wanted that person to be by your side and you were attracted to her and you just can't get rid of her off in your mind. Also, just like what you had mentioned, you can feel your heart would thump vigorously whenever she's with you or just simply touching you. You were becoming self-conscious when you were around her. Inosuke was dumbfounded, while utterly speechless because of what that old woman had told him. He only remained quiet and kept his mouth shut, discerning the words that Shinobu just spoke. So, he loves you? That's the reason why he's feeling these new emotions? Because he was in love with you? If you don't tell her you love her, Zenitsu might take her away from you. She evokes, which causes Inosuke's body to freeze and slowly peered at her. Zenitsu? That piñata head will take you away from him? Huh, hell no. He won't let that shitty coward snatch you away from him. He needs to tell it to you as soon as possible. Attempt number 1. The following day, you were watering the plants of the butterfly estate while humming your favorite song. Everyone was inside doing their tasks as you do yours at work. While you were watering the beguiling purple flowers, you abruptly heard footsteps coming towards your direction. YN. Inosuke's loud voice roared around the area, and it rapidly grabbed your attention. Seeing the boarhead, you instantly shot him an eye smile. The beast breath user planned on showing off to you and obtain your attention to him. After he succeeds in his plan, he will confess to you and you will not reject Inosuke-sama because he's just marvelous. What is it, Inosuke? You asked him with a mellow tone and the warhead felt his heart pound. Look at this. YN, I found YN-san? Shinobu-sama was searching for you. Sumi interrupted Inosuke from his sentence and from showing the beetles he just caught in the forest. Really? I should go then, he said, thus put the hose down once you turned off the faucet. You take a glimpse at the pretty boy, then grinned. Let's talk later, Inosuke. I'll see you later. You wave your hand at him and bid your goodbye. When you are now absent of the pretty boy's sight, he immediately threw the beetles dismissively in half because his first trial has failed. Damn that shrimp, she came into a right time to interject. He frustratingly yells and stomps his foot on the ground. I'll make her look at me tomorrow. Inosuke-sama will not give up. Attempt number 2. You and the 3 boys were on your mission in a miniature town at the said destination that your Kasugai crowd announced. It said that during the night, the townspeople kept on disappearing every single day. They don't know where the people missing had gone to, and their families were worried sick for their loved ones' well-being. Absolutely, that a demon was the reason behind the disappearance of the people in the small town. The 4 of you elected to the group yourself into 2, which is you and Inosuke, and Tanjiro with Zenitsu, who was cowering in fear. He even objected of you coming with the primitive boy and let him be with you instead. So in the end, Inosuke barked at his outlandish reason. Barked. And Tanjiro just clutched Zenitsu's back collar, hauling him who's struggling from the burgundy-haired boy's grasp. So in the end, you and Inosuke were investigating to find a demon who had caused casualties in the small town. Closing your eyes, you tried to sense for an ill-disposed aura encompassing the area. Upon tracking where the murderous aura was exceeding, you briskly opened your eyes and notified Inosuke where the demon is. Both of you started to run towards the forest and the aura was becoming lucid as you ran further through the dark pathway. Once you two reached a lake where you can sight the sumptuous irradiating the quartz crystalline lake, I can sense the demon's presence. Come out, you piece of shit. Inosuke-sama's going to decapitate you. Inosuke hollered as he unsheathed his Nichiren sword and rooms his eyes to detect a figure. Inosuke, be careful, okay? I don't want you to get injured again, he softly said, which caused the boar head to pause and stare at you for a good minute. He can feel the fluttery feeling of fabricating inside his stomach while he gawked at your steady countenance staring at the lake in front of you as the moonlight strikingly exemplifies your face. Why do you need to be so goddamn beautiful? Inosuke! You shouted his name when the demon suddenly emerged on the lake and charged towards the zoning out boy. Inosuke snapped out from his heels and prepared his sword to slash the hideous demon, gurgling. Come right on me, bastard. I'm going to annihilate you. Inosuke contemptuously declares while laughing. This is it. This is the excellent time he should impress you with his god-tier skill. He wouldn't back out right now, specifically where you can see the Inosuke-sama's awesomeness. Big assault! He yells as he started to charge towards the demon who's ready to bound at him. Look at how I'll kill this bastard, YN. When Inosuke was now in the perfect form to slash the demon's neck. YN? Inosuke? Your attention was easily earned by Tanjiro, who's sprinting towards you, followed by Zenitsu behind him, and that's also the exact time over the ferocious boy decapitated the demon. Tanjiro, Zenitsu, you called and the two mentioned boys approached you. I smelled the scent of a demon coming from here. That's why we rushed towards where you two ran off and saw the both of you already in the area. The innocent boy explained and looked behind you, only to find the demon's head was already disentangled from its place and the body was already consumed by the ashes. Oh, Inosuke, you already killed him, you said, then flashed him your bright smile. The said boy didn't respond and just stood in the spot while staring at you with a vein protruding on his forehead, as if you can see his irritated expression right now. Good job, Inosuke. You already accomplished your mission with ease. Tanjiro chirped. Thank God I didn't need to confront the demon, as Zenitsu said in relief as he dropped his tense shoulder. Attempt number 3. Nighttime. Inosuke was on his walk a while ago. Then upon taking a stroll around the forest, he saw fireflies in the midst of the pond as the insects fly through the air without any care in the world. Green tiny lights surrounded the fish pond and make the dark area to lighten up. In a shade of verdure that truly made the dull area to be eye-catching due to the help of the fireflies. He would be lying if he says that the view he was witnessing right now is not enticing. It immediately caught his attention and he couldn't thwart his gaze and only stared at the bewitching view with admiration. In a few minutes of staring, your face suddenly pops in his head, causing the feral boy to snap out from his reverie and hastily look behind the path where it leads to the butterfly estate where you were at this moment. Suddenly, a light bulb surfaced in the top of his head where a good idea crisscrossed in his mind. Without wasting a second, Inosuke rushed towards the butterfly estate to get you and show you the beautiful place that you'll surely love. You were at the backyard admiring the magnificent crescent moon on the sky with millions of stars twinkling. YN, your peaceful moment was disrupted by Inosuke's howling voice as you shift your head towards the path where you heard the voice of your comrade. Nezuko! Much to your surprise, the human turned into a demon girl, unexpectedly jumped at you and tackled you with a hug, causing you to lose your balance and drop on the dirty ground. Nezuko? You bewildered mentioned her name as the charming little sister of Tanjiro who nuzzled her cheeks on your chest. You divert your gaze at the burgundy-haired boy, whose face was contorted with an apology. I'm sorry, YN. When Nezuko woke up, she suddenly sprinted to look for you. She's really fond of you. Tanjiro mused, scratching the back of his head. You merely shook your head with a smile, crept on your visage. It's fine. I love your sister too, Tanjiro. She's so adorable. You squealed and molded her cheeks by your hand. Nezuko hummed in delight as she flashes you her eye smile. That really makes your heart warm and you can contain to rub her cheeks on hers. Then after words of pinching Nezuko's cheek, you suddenly remembered Inosuke. He felt like he wants to say something to you. Therefore, you whipped your head to the side where you saw that pretty boy. However, when your eyes landed on the spot where he was earlier, he was already gone. Did I really saw Inosuke earlier? I'm not hallucinating, am I? You muttered to yourself. What did you just say, YN? Tanjiro inquired. Oh, nothing. I just thought I heard and saw Inosuke just now. Tanjiro looked at the place where you were staring at. Really? I didn't see him though. Of course, dummy. He already left. I wonder what does he want from me? You wondered while placing your finger on your chin.